Students, did you remember what we have learned in previous module? Let us have a quick recap of what we have learned in previous module. In previous module, we learned classification of entire living world given by various scientists. After that, we studied five kingdom system of classification given by Whittaker in detail. In previous module, we saw classification of entire living world and we found that there is tremendous variety in living things. But in this module, we will study classification of microbes. Micro means very small and microorganisms means very small organisms which cannot be seen with help of naked eyes. Students, did you know among all the living organisms, microorganisms are largest in number. Therefore, they are also classified into various groups so that it became easy to know them or to study about them. So, in this module, we are going to study various groups of microorganisms, that is bacteria, protozoa, fungi, algae and viruses. Students, as I told you, microorganisms are very small. Let us try to understand how small they are. Micrometer and nanometer, these are the units to measure the size of microorganisms. 1 meter is equal to 10 raised to 6 micrometer and 1 meter is equal to 10 raised to 9 nanometers. I think now you have got an idea about the size of microorganisms. Students, please concentrate on the chart. As you can see, microorganisms are divided into two major groups, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Students, you are very well aware about the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell as we have revised this in previous module also. Prokaryotic cells are very simple cells. They are without distinct nucleus and cell organelles, whereas eukaryotic cells are with well-defined nucleus and cell organelles. Among all the microorganisms, bacteria has prokaryotic cell. So, all the bacteria are taken under prokaryotes and all the other microorganisms, that is protista, fungi, algae, possess eukaryotic cell. Therefore, they all are taken under eukaryotes. Students, as I told you in the beginning, in this module, we will study microorganisms in detail. Let us start with the bacteria. Have a look on the chart showing various characteristics of bacteria. As you can see on the chart, all bacteria are unicellular. Bacterial cell is prokaryotic type of cell. Therefore, it has very simple structure. It does not have nucleus and cell organelles. It has only genetic material, that is DNA or RNA enclosed in plasma membrane. Bacteria may be independent or parasitic organism. Some bacteria are free living, means they can live independently, while some bacteria are parasitic, means they are dependent on other organisms for life. That is, they live in the body of another organisms. Bacteria reproduce by simple binary fission. Student, the process of binary fission we are going to study in detail in coming slides. As they reproduce by simple binary fission, in favorable condition, bacteria grow vigorously and they can double their numbers in 20 minutes. Some bacteria together form colonies. Students, let us study all these characteristics in detail. Students, as we saw in the chart, some bacteria are independent. They live freely and independently. For example, cyanobacteria. As you can see in the picture, cyanobacteria are nothing but the blue-green algae which are found on the surface of water bodies as a green layer. Parasitic bacteria lives in the body of the other organisms. For example, Salmonella typhi is the bacteria responsible for typhoid fever. These bacteria are mainly found in the intestine of human beings, and these bacteria get transmitted through contaminated food and water. Students, many bacteria comes together and they live together in colonies as you can see in the picture. Students, as I mentioned in the characteristics, bacteria reproduce by simple binary fission. Binary fission is a form of asexual reproduction. Binary fission primarily occur in prokaryotic microorganisms, that is in bacteria. Bi means two and fission means division. Therefore, binary fission means division of a cell to form two new identical and individual cells. As you can see in the picture, duplication of DNA is the very first step in binary fission. As the word duplication suggests, the DNA of parent cell duplicates itself to form a copy of original DNA. In the second step, cell elongates and along with the cytoplasm, both the DNA moves away from each other. Students, as you can see in the picture, in the third step, two daughter cells gets separate from each other and act as a new individual. That individuals can repeat the process to produce many cells further. Students, in favorable condition, bacteria grows vigorously, as you can see in the second picture. Bacteria can double their number in 20 minutes. Students, after knowing this, you can imagine how fast they grow. Because of this only, any bacterial infection gets spread very fast and takes time to get cured completely. Let us move towards the types of bacteria. Bacteria are classified into 5 groups according to their basic shapes. First type is coccus. These bacteria has a spherical or generally round shape. For example, Staphylococcus. Some of these are responsible for pneumonia. Second type is Bacillus. These are rod-shaped bacteria. For example, Lactobacillus. Lactobacillus is found in buttermilk. Third type is Cocobacillus. Cocobacillus has shape like very short rods or oval. The name Cocobacillus is the combination of the word coccus and bacillus. Coccus are round-shaped bacteria, while bacillus are rod-shaped bacteria. Bacteria that fall between these two shapes are called Cocobacillus. These are short rod-shaped bacteria. For example, Haemophilus, which causes influenza. Fourth type of bacteria is Vibrio. These are comma-shaped bacteria. For example, Vibrio cholerae, which causes cholera. Fifth type of bacteria is Spirillum. These are rigid spiral-shaped bacteria. For example, Spirillum jejuni, which causes diarrhea. Students, next group of microorganism is protozoa. Let us have a look on the chart showing various characteristics of protozoa. These are unicellular organisms with eukaryotic cell. Means these organisms possess a single cell with well-defined nucleus and cell organelles. There is a great variation in cell structure, organs of locomotion and modes of nutrition among protozoans. Organs of locomotion we already studied in previous module. These organisms reproduce by simple cell division. Students, some protozoans are independent while some are parasitic. Some protozoans are pathogenic also. We will learn about pathogenic protozoans in next slide. Students, as I told you before, some protozoans are independent while some are parasitic. Independent protozoans can exist independently. That is, they are free living. For example, amoeba, paramecium are free living protozoans. They are found in dirty water. Parasitic protozoans lives in the body of another organisms called the host. They depend on its host for survival. Without a host, parasitic organisms cannot live, grow and multiply. Some of the parasitic protozoans are pathogenic also. For example, Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium vivax is the most frequent cause of malaria. It infects red blood cell in mammals including humans, as you can see on the slide. It gets transmitted by the bite of female mosquito Anopheles. Students, protozoans shows different modes of nutrition. Amoeba engulfs food with help of pseudopodia. When pseudopodia fuses with the food, it forms a food vacuole, and then food gets digested with help of digestive enzymes in the cell. Paramecium makes movements with cilia to sweep prey organism along with some water through the oral groove. Once the food gets enter in the cell, digestive enzymes acts on it and digestion takes place. Let us see the reproduction by cell division in amoeba. As you can see on the slide, during cell division, elongation of nucleus of parent cell takes place. After that, along with the nucleus, cytoplasm also gets divided. And finally, two individual daughter cells gets formed. Student, we saw reproduction in bacteria by binary fission. In binary fission, duplication of genetic material occurs, which is not seen in cell division. In cell division, nucleus which carries the genetic material itself gets divided into two. This is the main difference between binary fission and cell division. Students, let us see next group of microorganisms, fungi, which we already studied in 5 kingdom system of classification. Baker's yeast, mushroom, these are the some examples of fungi that we studied in detail. Students, actually in this group only some organisms are unicellular and others are multicellular, that is, they are visible with naked eyes. These are found on decaying organic material and dead bodies of plants and animals, as you all know that. These are eukaryotic organisms. They are saprotrophic, that is, they absorb their food from decaying organic matter. They reproduce by cell division or by budding. Students, as we are studying the microorganisms in this module, till now we saw two methods of reproduction in microorganisms, namely binary fission and cell division. In fungi, some organisms shows reproduction by budding process, which is given in detail on next slide. Yeast is a unicellular microorganism in fungi which reproduces by an asymmetric division process called budding. As you can see in the picture, in budding, one or more outgrowths appears on the parent cell. These outgrowths enlarges in size to form a bud. After that, the nucleus of parent cell divides into two. One daughter nucleus migrates into the bud along with the cytoplasm, and the other nucleus remains in the parent cell. The bud grows further. In some cases, the bud gets separate off from the parent cell and acts as a new individual. Sometimes the bud remains attached to the parent cell and undergo budding to form a branched or unbranched chain of buds as shown in the diagram. In yeast, budding occurs during the abundant supply of nutrition. Many bacteria, flatworms, jellyfishes are some animal species which reproduces through budding. Algae are a diverse group of aquatic organisms. Algae can be found in oceans, rivers, lakes and ponds. They require a moist environment to grow. These are eukaryotic autotrophic organisms. As you all know, autotrophic means they can prepare their own food. Algae can perform photosynthesis with help of chloroplast present in the cell. Very few species of algae are unicellular. Most of them are multicellular and visible with naked eyes. For example, Chlorella, Chlamydomonas, about which we are going to learn more on next slide. Let us see some examples of algae. Chlamydomonas and Chlorella, these are the algae which can be found in fresh water. Algae acquires green color because of presence of chloroplast. Chlamydomonas is the algae which can be found all over the world. It is found even in the snow on mountain tops. Chlorella has great medicinal values. The whole body of Chlorella is used to make nutritional supplements and medicines. It is processed and made into tablets and liquid extract, as you can see in the picture. Chlorella is a good source of protein, fats, carbohydrates, fibers, vitamins and minerals. But more research on it is still needed. Let us have a look on the chart showing characteristics of viruses. The main and unique characteristic of virus is they are extremely minute. If you see the size of bacteria, protozoa, fungi, algae, which is mentioned on respective slides, you will come to know that size of all other microorganisms is measured in micrometers, whereas the size of virus is measured in nanometers, as you can see on the slide. Nanometers is the smallest unit to measure the size of microorganisms. Viruses are 10 to 100 times smaller than bacteria and can be seen only with electron microscope. Viruses survive only in living plant or animal cell, which is called as the host cell. Outside the host cell, viruses cannot survive and multiply also. Outside the host cell, viruses are just like independent particles. Therefore, generally viruses are not considered as living organisms, or they are said to be organisms at the age of living and non-living. Viruses cause many diseases to plant and animal. For example, tomato wilt virus is the virus which affects many crops. Viruses are nothing but a long molecule of DNA or RNA covered by a protein coat. Students, structure of virus we are going to study in detail on next slide. Various structures of viruses are shown in the first picture. Let us know about basic structure of a virus. Though the structure of virus varies widely, the basic structure of virus is as shown in the picture. As I told you, each virus has very simple structure which shows three important parts. The capsid or the head is the shell-like structure that encloses the genetic material, either DNA or RNA, inside the head. Tail is the part which has tail fibers at the end, with help of which virus gets hold of the host cell. Let us try to understand how the virus attacks a living cell, which is given in detail on next slide. Virus gets hold of the host cell with help of tail fibers. Then it injects the genome, that is genetic material, either DNA or RNA, inside the living cell. Then it starts producing their own protein with help of host cell and create their numerous copies, that is replica, as you can see in the video. Then they destroy the host cell and become free. These free viruses again infect new cells. In this way, any viral infection gets spread very fast and becomes difficult to control. Let us see one example of virus which attacks a wide range of plants. Tomato mate virus infects tomatoes, chilies, potato, capsicum and many other plants. Many small dark spots can be seen on the infected plant body. This virus also gets transmitted from infected plant to a healthy plant by tiny winged insects known as thrips, which is shown on the slide. Controlling thrips is most effective way to save plants from this virus attack. Students, let us revise once what we have learned in this module. We learned all about microorganisms in this module. We saw 4 groups of microorganisms in detail. We learned reproduction by binary fission in bacteria. We saw different types of bacteria based on their basic shapes. We learned various modes of nutrition of protozoans. We saw reproduction of protozoans by cell division. Under fungi, we studied various characteristics and examples. We studied various examples and characteristics of algae. We saw basic structure of viruses and also we learned how viruses attacks a living cell. Students, here we completed chapter number 1, Living World and Classification of Microbes. I hope you all enjoyed learning this module. So, complete the given exercise and have a good revision of entire lesson. Thank you.